Ons begin vanaand met 'n kykie na die stand van die ANC, na afloop van sy 55ste nasionale verkiesingskonferensie wat by Nasrek in Johannesburg plaasgevind het. President Cyril Ramaphosa het as wenner uit die stryd getree en is soos verwag verkies om die party vir die volgende 5 jaar te lei. Nou is die groot vraag, sal hy en die ANC ons land se sukkelende ekonomie, die voortsleepende kragkrisis en skokkende vlakke van misdaad kan regryk voor die nasionale verkiesing in 2024? Ramaphosa staan immers aan die stuur van 'n party wat sukkel om salarisse te betaal, wat gebuk gaan onder binnengevegte en aanklagte van korrupsie en wat boonop voortgaan om steun by die stembus te verloor. Die woordvoerder van die ANC, Pule Mabe, sit hier oorkant my om te verduidelik hoe die president en die regerende party beplan om homself en die land te hervorm. Pule, welcome to the program. Let's start with the biggest crisis facing South Africa at the moment, and that's load shedding, phase 6 at the moment, and we've had that for a few days now. What is the ANC doing to solve this crisis?
Evening and evening to your viewers. We do share in the concerns of many South Africans. Some have taken to the streets to actually register their own concern about the recurring load shedding problem. We had communicated over the weekend through a statement from the Secretary General, Comrade Fikile Mbalula, that our national officials will be meeting. That meeting did happen yesterday to take stock of the situation as it is currently obtaining and develop an immediate plan on the sort of actions that need to be undertaken. We have said to those publications that reached out to us that we will, during the course of this week, communicate to the general public on what is going to be happening. We take the situation quite seriously and understand that we do not just need to make rhetorical statements, especially at a time when the country requires us to provide leadership. We have got to zoom into the Eskom situation, understand exactly what is happening, have a fair appreciation of the timelines that are there in place, be able to give South Africans a message that says we will be in this situation up until this stage, or we'll be out of this situation at this point. This is what is being undertaken to resolve the situation.
So will this be a new plan? Because load shedding is not a new problem.
No, it can't be a new plan. You'll understand, we are a political party. While we are a party in government, entrusted with that responsibility by the majority of people in this country, as a responsible party, we have got to understand the challenges that we are facing. We also have got to know what is being done to deal with all of this. Because the leadership that our people expect from us is one that says, while we appreciate this, this is what is being done to attend to this. Because people need, those who run business, yourselves here at kykNET, you need predictability. You need to be able to plan. You know, so what the load shedding...
Why has it been so hard to implement plans that the ANC have in the past perhaps put forward?
Well, it has not been difficult to implement plans that the ANC has got. You will appreciate that while we are a governing party, you have got a network of engineers, those that run Eskom, those that are in the leadership of Eskom. The problems, as they've been explained out in the public, appeared to be of a technical nature themselves. So we have got to be careful of the kind of political statements we make around technical problems. We have got to appreciate that there's an amount of time that is required. There is an investment that has got to be made. We've made these statements in my previous tenure coming out of the 54th National Conference of the ANC as national spokesperson. I've spoken to many of you in the media about that issue and what was being done to attend to that. So it is not just an issue of saying heads must roll, saying so and so must go and all of that. You have got to understand the problems in totality so that the solution that you come up with is not just lip service. South Africans are not looking for lip service. Industry is not looking for lip service. They want action. And the assurance we can give to the people of this country is that when we rise to communicate, having met with all of the stakeholders, work that is being done, I mean, our president had to cut his trip to Davos so that he's in a position to attend to this. This shows the urgency and seriousness through which the ANC-led government takes this matter. We are not folding our arms and waiting for an implosion or an explosion out there in our communities. We know the concerns that our people are facing. We are hearing their voices.
Pule, you talk about political statements. Is it a political statement to say that load shedding was caused, this crisis was caused by the ANC-led government?
Well, it's very much a political statement because when you go to the ANC conference, the men and women you elect are not engineers.
But you should certainly hold them accountable.
Can I make my statement and conclude? In the ANC, we elect those that must assume the position of leadership. SOEs that you yourselves in the media and many others in the public have actually said that these institutions must run outside political influence. When we had the notion of state capture, the desire that South Africans had in mind was that the men and women that we entrust with the responsibility to run these institutions will be those that understand what needs to happen to really solve the crisis that they face, whether it's at Eskom, whether it's at PRASA, whether it's at any other SOE that our own government is presiding over. We are now sitting with a crisis, a serious crisis of load shedding. It must be all hands on deck. All of us must commit to finding a long-lasting solution to this. In the intervening period, we must be able to say to South Africans, these are the measures that are being undertaken. South Africans are not interested in someone's head rolling. South Africans want to know when are they going to get out of the load shedding problem. You know, the other day I was stopped by traffic cops on the road. And as they noticed that I was also in the car, the traffic officer said, but Mr. Mabe, we are not quite happy with the load shedding problem. When are you guys going to deal with this? So now, every one of our people equates this problem to the African National Congress. We are obviously not going to stand up and say, no, don't bring this at our doorstep. I mean, we have noted there are statements that are nefarious statements, and the march planned by the Democratic Alliance to go to Luthuli House. It's not Luthuli House that produces energy, that runs distribution, that runs transmission, and all of that. This is happening at Megawatt Park. But when a political party takes a decision that it will march to the offices of another political party, they are simply making an electioneering statement. They should be taking the march where it matters the most. They should be going to Eskom. That is where they must go and look for the answers. But as the ANC, we are not going to evade our role of leading society and giving the necessary answers. Society is now up in arms. They need us to give them the answers. And we said we will be able to prevail on this once we have done all of the work that is being done in the background. And we must really commend our national officials. When they met yesterday, the first issue on the agenda was the question of load shedding. And they have sequenced their work to be able to meet with a number of stakeholders. This week, we've made a commitment that through our Secretary General, we will be able to speak and convey the position of the African National Congress on this matter.
I just want to stay with the issue of society and South Africans who have an election in less than a year, or just over a year. Do you think that load shedding will hurt the ANC at the polls?
Of course, we have got to deal with it. It will hurt the ANC. It will hurt. If we were folding our arms, wanting to think that this load shedding thing, if it is not attended to, will not hurt us at the polls, we'll be joking. We are very much alive that because this is a societal issue, it affects the day-to-day runnings of households. It will surely affect the ANC. The fact that you yourself, when you ask a question, you put it forward to the ANC. That are you saying, because it's saying, is the ANC reneging from its responsibility of providing leadership at a time when society expects the ANC to rise?
That is what I'm asking.
You know, so that's why we are saying, because we understand that this has got a bearing on how we will perform at the polls. This has got a bearing on how society out there is going to view the African National Congress. we can no longer afford to make rhetorical statements at a time when our people expect us to provide leadership. We've got to say, these are the measures that are being undertaken. And we ourselves have got to develop a system to monitor that the commitments we made to our people are indeed being achieved.
Pule, thank you so much.
No, thanks.
Ons gaan eers tyd vir 'n paar handelsflitse. Later in die program gesels ek met 'n kenner oor die vooruitsigte vir Suid-Afrikaanse landbou hierdie jaar. En net hierna bespreek ek in 'n paneel 'n paar moontlike scenario's wat betref die politiek van 2023 en wat dit vir jou gaan beteken.